spin no hardcore?
What's that?
You're not going to spin no hardcore.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
You're not going to spin
Welcome to my apartment. You're watching the show where I, Jeff Cannibal, interview some of your favorite wrestlers, all while they compete to win $5 whole. To do this, they'll have to eat 5 wings, increasing in heat, all while allowed only 1 beverage. But if they tap out to those 5 wings, they have to cut a promo on this guy, Felix, my 3-legged kitten. You're watching The Flaming Table. Welcome to another episode of The Flaming Table. Today my guest is a WrestlePro mainstay. It's a man you can see pretty much everywhere. CPA, thank you for coming on today.
Hello, my friend. We meet again.
Getting that tie ready.
Yeah, I had to make sure I was fully suited up tonight.
I appreciate that. I hope you're ready for all this stuff that sucks to do, as I've learned over the night.
I find that more of my painful adventures in life have been through things that weren't supposed to be painful. So I think I'll be okay.
Perfect.
This will be fun. It'll be like when I go to leave your house, I'll fall down the stairs or something. That's kind of my charm.
Then we'll have to keep the camera on, so you got that.
Yeah.
So
extra footage.
We will start with the first wing. We had wrestling fan Boogie Rag Joe. He makes all his own hot sauces. He made me a coconut smoked habanero sauce, and that's what we are using with the first wing. We will start with that top one.
Okay.
Take a bite, and then I will start asking you the questions. So, you're known, I'm not telling any tales out of school here, you're known as the comedy guy. You doing okay?
Wow.
All right.
There's punch to it.
Yeah. I think this one tastes great, though.
Ooh, good.
What a lot of people don't know is that you started your training years ago, I mean, more than just a couple years ago, at the Doghouse, where guys like Monster Mac, Homicide, Lathon, Low Life Louie all came from. What can you tell me about your training back in the early days that people don't really know so much about?
So, I started doing backyard wrestling when I was 13 in Glendale, New York. It's like a block away from my mom's house. And then I was there for about a year. And we started, apparently this was a thing that a lot of people did. I didn't know about until recently. The Doghouse would let you rent their facility, provided all the performers paid, I think it was $10 a head. The only thing was, like, you had to be, like, very, very basically trained. Like, you had to know how to, like, bump and run the ropes. And you weren't allowed to fight outside. So, our first show there, it was me and my, Louis probably remembers him, Johnny Hardcore. The first match on the first show, we're trying to make a nice impression. We were told explicitly, do not fight outside of the ring. Don't mess up the ring. Don't mess up the canvas, etc., etc. This guy outside of wrestling is one of my best friends. I was the best man at his wedding. He had this awesome idea. Well, let me finish this video. Eventually, kind of learned how to like bump and run the rope. Again, like really, really, really basic stuff. I only trained there a handful of times, and usually like Homicide would be there, and he'd be like, "Oh, take 200 bumps," and then I'd do like 23, and I'd be like, "No, I'm done, man. Sorry." So I gave you a teaser on Facebook Messenger a few weeks ago about the one practice match I had with Lathon. So I'll preface it with Lathon busted my nose open. Now you think in your head, "Wow, he must have really given you." We were doing like chain. And he threw me into the corner, and he gave me like the lightest clothesline one could ever throw, and my nose just gushed open. I was like, oh, I guess this is the best it can be. And then he's like, "Yo, you all right?" I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. He's like, "No, you're fucking bleeding on me. Get out." I'm like, "Oh,
wow,
okay." I was like, "Was everything okay?" He's like, "Yeah, just go clean yourself up."
Well, in a way, that's almost lucky at that point that he pushed to get out there.
But like, other than that, it was fun. I know like other people had horror stories with him, and we did like blow up drills with him, and I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna die here. Like, it was dreadful. Sure. Like the whole like high knee in the corner, front bump, high knee in the corner for like 20 minutes. I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Yeah, I did that for a while, and then they closed down, and then I kind of just
hovered for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, well, school and girls and jobs and stuff.
That's hovering, I guess.
Yeah.
So before I get into the next question, let's take a bite of the second wing. This one brought to us by Outer Limits. It is ghost pepper and roasted garlic. Personally, I think this is my favorite tasting one.
Okay.
Number 2. So, you did the doghouse. You got your ass kicked a lot. Not that bad from the sound of it, but still. What made you go the comedy route in wrestling? Is that something you always wanted to do, or is that something you kind of developed later on? And who are some of your influences as far as comedy wrestling, whether it be in or outside the ring?
Wow. Number 2. Holy fuck. Yeah. So, in case you couldn't tell by we worked a match together. I don't know if it was evident. I'm naturally probably one of the least athletic people on earth, I'd say.
As am I.
So, I did a little comedy stuff, in the original run at the Doghouse. But it was more just because, again, like, I wasn't good at anything. Like, I was good at taking bumps and being a goofball. And, like, generally we didn't have fans there. It was just the guys. So I was just popping everyone,
Fair enough.
As far as, Mick Foley was the reason I wanted to become a wrestler. And when I started, that's when he was doing the Socko shit. And, like, Scotty Too Hotty was starting to get big. So I did the Worm. I'll show you a video of it. It's really...
Okay, great.
It's like... I don't know if embarrassing is a word. It's just like, I don't know, I was 14. Yeah. I was 14, horribly unathletic. And then, during my floating period, I was always into, like Benoit and like good, the really good workers,
Sure.
like Kurt Angle and all those dudes. But I always found myself more towards the character and showy side of things. And since I'm not Hulk Hogan size, I have to do the,
Fair.
kind of the lower end of the showy side, which to me is, I guess, the comedy. And this might come as a surprise, might not come as much of a surprise. I'm gonna try to not start drooling. It's just like building up
for a reason.
Just hold it here. The things that got me into wrestling were. Alright, the first thing wrestling related I watched ever was Papa Shango. It was a Papa Shango vignette. Then from there, like I saw Hogan, but then I saw like Kamala and like Giant Gonzalez, the stuff that we view as goofy now. But to me at the time, I was like, that was the most terrifying thing.
Oh yeah, I loved all that stuff.
But then, I got into Hogan and Warrior and all but it's all stuff that we view as kind of campy and ham-fisted now. But to me, that was life. Like, to me, Hulk Hogan was, like, the picture of what an American should be like, That was the American dream, to be Hulk Hogan. So, he was very, like, over the top and very theatrical about things. So, I drew on myself more to that. So then, as time went on, I got into guys like Colt Cabana and, like, a lot of the Chikara, like Chris Hero did, like, a lot, like, he was a phenomenal athlete, but he did a lot of goofy stuff, you know what I mean? Right. So that was, during my in-between period, I got into guys like that, and like Chuck Taylor.
Before we get to the next one, our next sauce is Repercussion. In my opinion, this one hits the hardest and the fastest. It's not my favorite tasting one either, to be honest. So let's take a bite of that one. Okay. And we'll get into this next one. And you feel it right away. So, you mentioned Dan Moff. You've also worked Gangrel, Brian Myers, a bunch of names, a bunch of strong guys, a bunch of tough guys. Have any of them ever pushed back against the comedy stuff, or have they ever embraced it wholly? Do you have any good stories, whether they hated it or they loved it? Either way, as you go through what you're going through right now.
I took the entire thing in one bite. I don't know what.
I
don't know how that happened. I didn't mean for it to happen. Okay.
You got this. You want to keep going?
Yeah. I just, I got away. Bit off a little.
Got away from you?
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So, holy shit.
We're all here for you.
I'm hallucinating right now.
That happens. It's just going to get worse.
So, my favorite, I think, as of right now, my favorite story with working, like, a more serious wrestler with what I do. EC3.
You got
EC3. He showed up to the building, and when he walked in, someone turned on the Tron video that I have.
Okay.
I think you've seen it. It's like goofy. Wow, my head is spinning right now.
You want to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not even the hot. It's just the fact, like, my head is like.
You are sweating so much right now.
Like,
This is the second episode, but we've already filmed. You're the fourth one I've filmed, and I'm very happy with how much you're sweating. It's going to make for great YouTube footage. That's what matters here.
I don't think that registered at all.
oh damn!
I'll just sit back.
Sweat more than a whore at church. Okay. EC3. So he saw the video. He was like, "All right, I think I can work with this." He's like, "So what do you do?" I was like, "Well, my finish, at least at the time, it was like my finishing move is basically I go to the top rope, I get scared, I go to the second rope, I get scared, I go on the first rope, and then I hit a splash." He was like, "Okay." He's like, "Do you mind in your comeback if you hit some running women's shoves like in No Mercy?"
Oh, wow.
It's like, yeah. Are you okay with taking those? He's like, "Yeah, of course I am." I was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah, hit me with 3. I was like, 3. I was like, "Brother, you gotta work. You know, you're on TV." He's like, "I'm good." So, he was really cool about it. He embraced it a lot. Trying to think. There was one recently who was not super okay with it. Then kind of warmed up to it once it was in that. Yeah, hold on.
I'm sure this is not making it easy to think as well, so it's a really good idea for an interview show.
I love it. It was great. Wow, that was disgusting.
There you got it. The gimmick comes off.
Oh damn! Whoa! I'm turning into Colonel Robert Parker.
We'll come back in. And we had some technical difficulties before.
My brain.
He's back. His brain wasn't working all the way, but we got it working again. I hate to do this to you now after all that. But up next, we got our fourth wing. It is the Rapture. I'm not even sure what peppers are in this one, honestly, but it sucks. It hurts. It's a good taste again. So let's take a bite of that one, and we will move on to your next one, which is probably fitting for what we're doing right now, actually. So, a few years ago, you'll have to help me on the timeline. I remember hearing a story about before I believe, PWS show. Mm-hmm. You were running the ropes or something, you fell out of the ring, you hit your head, you got knocked out, and had a hospital visit. Can you tell us about that? How did that kind of change your approach to everything?
So, I don't think it's ever been exposed publicly, but I was supposed to win the Suicidal 6-Way title that day. So I was like a fucking ball of nerves. I was like, oh my god, I have to win a title. Like, they expect things of me and stuff, you know.
And this was PWS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Halloween 2014.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I jumped in the ring beforehand. I hope there's no fucking sauce on this thing. I hopped in the ring beforehand. I was like, I gotta work my nerves off. So I started, me and Matt McIntosh were just running around, whatever. And then suddenly I wake up and Balls Mahoney is standing in front of me, and there's Balls Mahoney and a bunch of EMTs are standing in front of me, and Balls is like, get away from him, give him space, how you doing, kid? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know, I guess. What happened? They're like, oh, you fell out of the ring. I was like, how? Would I just like, you know? And they're like, no, the top and middle rope snapped. I was like, oh, sweet. I was like, well, I have a match tonight, so that sucks. I was like, let me get some air. And they're like, no, you're going to the hospital.
Wow.
I was like, why? Because you fell out of the fucking ring. I was like, oh, alright, I guess. So, Yeah, I went to, they brought me to Newark Hospital. Apparently I was like hemorrhaging or something like that. So,
Just get right in there.
damn it, I gotta touch it with my hand.
That's good. You did enough. You're good on that one.
No, I'm gonna finish it.
Fair enough.
God damn it, I'm gonna finish it. So,
You're a champ.
I gotta do it. Yeah, I fell out of the ring. Took me to the hospital. Yeah, that was weird because it was like I had like gotten a few bumps and bruises on the way. And it was like I was telling you before. I got my like mustache is on fire right now. I touch my lips.
Let's get the cat. You're doing great.
You're
You look
alive.
great. You feel great.
I wish I had a Four Loko right now. God damn.
Is Balls Mahoney saved your life?
Yeah, kinda.
More or less, Balls
Kinda,
Mahoney
yeah.
saved your life.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. Balls Mahoney is a great guy, man.
Yes, that is true.
Originally I thought he was kind of annoying, but then like, just this crazy shit he'd talk about. He's like, I was standing there, I was at some show, he comes up to me, I think New Jack was on the show. Said, I ever tell you about the first time I met Jack? No, you haven't. And I'm gonna blank on the name, but he said, I'm working SMW. I go up to him, I said, he was doing the gangsta gimmick, the fucking gangsta gimmick at the time. I go up to him, I say, I know who you are. You're so-and-so from GFW. He says, I'm Jack, nice to meet you. It was like the best story ever. I was like, Balls Mahoney's such a cool guy.
He really is.
He's such a great guy. I don't know why everyone like...
He was a little much for some people, but he was a great dude, and he always meant well. So
What I was told was, you haven't been around long enough. You haven't been around long enough to get annoyed by him. I was like, nah, man, he is.
I don't know. I got to work him once, and he was a great guy. He destroyed me with a trash can. But
Dude, the chair shots he used
yeah,
to throw back.
I didn't have to take a chair shot, but I did take the trash
I
can.
don't know how Steve Carino is still alive.
That's a good question.
Dude, those I get a concussion watching all these CW shows. Jesus Christ.
And then people like me are dumb enough to emulate. Are you ready to get into the last props? Do you want to get? I'm not going to make you.
No, I'm going to.
As you drip sweat. Literally, as you said that you drip
Like I told you, this is the worst part of it. Honestly,
It's awesome.
The sweat is the worst. Come on, get right in there. Come on.
All right.
We don't make wrestling matches. We make movies.
So,
Sorry, I don't know if I addressed the whole question. I was just going on and on.
no, that's cool. I feel like we got good stuff, but keep going.
So, oddly enough, after that, I took like a month off or whatever because I was just like, I didn't know what to do. So I just didn't do anything for a month. Like, I went to the gym and stuff, but I didn't like bump around or anything. And I was actually doing the top rope, middle rope, bottom rope thing in practice. Again, that was one of those things that I just did just for shits and giggles.
Sure.
And someone was like, you should start doing that. And I was like, that's fucking perfect. I have vertigo now. And I did actually have vertigo for the first like year. Like I didn't do squats or deadlifts for like a year after that because anytime I was in like a crouched position, like I just couldn't stand back up. So I kind of played into it. Well, exposure in the business there, kids. Yeah, that's why I do that. And that's just kind of part of my thing now.
You look like you're being interrogated, and you know you're going to go to jail. That's why how much you're sweating.
As long as I'm going to the jail that Mountie went to in 1998.
All right.
Like an hour away, actually.
So you ready to do this last one with me?
Yes.
Okay. This last one
What choice do I have?
is you could say no.
No, I already
That's
started.
it. No, he was the first
I
episode.
already started it.
So this last one is Ultra Death. Blair's Ultra Death sauce with Jersey Fury. It looks like straight up. Not so much. It looks like actual lava, and it's terrible. So let's take a bite of this one. This is the one question I didn't tell you I was going to ask. I want to spring it on you.
I'm ready.
So let's take a bite, and then we'll go into it. So as you mentioned before, you used to do the singer-songwriter stuff. I'm gonna keep talking as you're feeling.
This is deceptively tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, first. It's like, oh, it's like Kennedy Fried Chicken. No big deal, you know. Oh, yeah.
You killed Louie over here. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, it hit me. Back of the throat. Back of the throat. You said you used to do the singer-songwriter stuff.
Yes.
You probably know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
In your YouTube highlight video, you're singing your own song. I saw another promo before you wrestled, I believe, DJ Hyde, where you start singing something and then it turns into a promo.
Yes.
Take one more bite of that wing. And can we get a rendition of whatever song you personally feel like singing? Maybe whatever this show makes you feel like singing.
You know, honestly, I'm less upset about the fact that I'm eating a wing. I have a sore throat right now, so my levels are all over the place. But
I mean, I trust you.
Let's go. Goddamn. Okay. Okay, another one. Why not?
Good for you.
I tell the EMTs that when they get here.
What was I listening to today? I was listening to a few things today. Oh yeah, I'm sweating my eye.
There you go. Open it up so you don't get the sauce. It's a pro. It's a pro right there.
I got cayenne pepper in my eye one time. It took like an hour to see a person again. Hold on, give me a second. You know what? I'll think of something. You brought up the highlight video.
Okay, let's bring it back in. Say it again for me.
You know what? Brought up the highlight video. I think it's only appropriate.
I love that video, by the way.
Thank you. I think it's only appropriate. It's like perfect to sing this song in this time of trying right now. Hello, my friend, we'll meet again. It's been a while, where should we begin? Feels like forever. Shit.
You got this. You're killing it.
Within my heart of memories, the perfect love that you gave to me. Oh, I remember when you were with me. I'm free, I'm careless, I'm above all the others, we'll fly, which brings tears to my eyes, my sacrifice.
And you finished the last wing. Well, CPA?
I'm hallucinating right now.
I'm going to make it worth your time, like any good independent wrestling promoter would. Here is your money in an envelope.
His brother.
Matt Tremont forgot his money, so his name got crossed out and your name got written in on there. $5 whole. I hope that makes it worth it.
I drove down to Tennessee this weekend to do a show, and it's more than I got. No, it's the same amount that I got there, so.
Well, I'm glad we could do that for you in New Jersey here. Before we get out of here, while you're dying, I gave other people a chance to break, but you killed it. Do you have any plugs or anything you want to give before we get out of here?
Okay. Actually, I have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to turn the...
No, man.
My original thought... I haven't finished this.
You don't have to. You already got paid.
So, in your selection process, what made you come across me? That's what I was thinking the whole way here. I was like, wow, that's weird.
Well, I got you because I love comedy wrestling, as I think you kind of learned when we worked together. I didn't want to just have, the Matt Tremonts of the world, the Jeff Cannibals, the Deathmatch guys of the world. And I don't want to just have just my friends on here. Obviously, that's the easiest to get. That's going to be the majority of it. But I've talked to you maybe besides for a hey, what's
Two or
up?
three times,
Maybe
yeah.
2 or 3 times, possibly. So I want to get more people I didn't fully know. And honestly, I am a fan of your work, and I enjoy it, and so I figured it'd be a good one to have.
I appreciate it. I was like, kind of, I read it, I was like tickled. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And plus, like, this is right down my alley. I really like hot food. I can't handle it very well, but I really, really enjoy hot food. In case you couldn't see there. This is like, it's like Beyond the Mat. They're interviewing Spike Dudley. Like, what do you do during the day? Oh, I work in an air-conditioned office. And at night, I wrestle and eat hot wings.
Perfect. What do you have to plug yourself?
Sorry.
Not Vince Russo?
At the Vince Russo on Twitter. My Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LiveJournal, Zanga, MySpace, Friendster, Grindr, CPA Wrestles. No spaces, no underscores, just CPA Wrestles. Much like Matt Tremont, but not quite as important or impressive, I recently cut a promo on Bunkhouse Buck, and I'm hoping he responds to it eventually.
So let's spread that around there. Let's try to get Bunkhouse
Spread
Buck
that shit
versus
around.
CPA.
I'll retweet it as soon as possible. What else? I have a YouTube channel, The Abominable CPA. It's just a bunch of like stupid promos and stuff. Yeah, try to. I know I'm a goofy guy, but I just ate all these wings, and I have car that has no defogger and will travel. So get at
Thank
me.
you for coming on here.
Thanks for having
It's great
me.
having you. Thank you for watching The Flaming Table. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that. The Flaming Table, one word. Like, subscribe, comment, do everything. Tell everybody about the show. And we'll see you next time.